In today's challenging business environment, with economic, political, and geopolitical uncertainties, employees in various organizations are more often than not at the receiving end. The Human Resource Department plays a crucial role in managing employees and in the overall transition of each organization. It is in this light that the HR Innovation Awards were organized on 4th November at Mumbai. Here, there was an eclectic mix of industry leaders, experts from HR who came together to discuss challenges, opportunities, and HR innovation strategies for organizations. In the first panel discussion, top HR leaders and experts focus on how to build intelligent organizations.
In your experience, in terms of handling your organizations, for building intelligent organizations, what is, in your opinion, the top 2 or 3 critical factors?
In my view, apart from all the infrastructure and the cultural things which are needed to call some organization as a knowledge organization. So fundamentally, it has to start with the respect for knowledge. And then, of course, at a more operational level, there have to be mechanisms for capturing knowledge. There has to be a mechanism for updating that knowledge. One of the things is respect for knowledge, yes, but respect for people, because knowledge and intelligence is not the prerogative of some people at the top of the organization. And I think creating mechanisms by which all this can be captured and shared across the organization is one of the most important things in this journey.
For me, intelligence means how does a cohort in the organization, the whole organization, respond to partners, to stakeholders, to competition? How does it make a judgment? How do you apply your intelligence to make a judgment? It could be based on a market survey, it could be based on all the tools of knowledge management, but how do you make a judgment? So how do you respond to customer needs is an intelligent organization. Are you going to become another BlackBerry? Are you going to be immune and very, very complacent? Are you going to be too proud of what you have? Are you going to be too insensitive to what customer requirements? I think the most intelligent organizations are able to be extremely responsive to such situations. Building on the word situation, there is a word called situated learning. And situated learning is putting people in situations which makes them learn. So Gene Love talks about it, and what happens is you may have a set of people who may be very reluctant to learn about numbers. Research has been done on Brazilian street kids. Research can be done even if we go to a wet market where you buy vegetables. I think the way they calculate how much 3 pav of a vegetable costs is faster than the math we can do. So putting people in different situations creates intelligent organizations.
Intelligent organizations are based on 2 elements. Intellect required for the organization and intelligence required. Now, because of the phonetical similarity, we tend to confuse it, but there is a certain element of intellectual capital an organization needs to have to build its capability to be able to exploit the opportunities it gets in the marketplace. You need to have that intellectual capability. After that, the dynamic market keeps throwing so many new challenges, so many new variables, that unless and until your organization has a capability for intelligence, as in CIA intelligence, to be able to research and find out as to what is happening in the market, which are the variables which are impacting, what is the insight in the changing environment that's going to impact the existing capital of knowledge that you have got, unless you have that, your ability to survive in the market is not there. So how do we continue to be an intelligent organization? How do we keep upgrading the human capital required to be having the knowledge that is required to succeed? And how do we gather intelligence from the market? Because even what you collect today is not necessarily the end of it. The dynamism is going to keep moving on. So do you have the ongoing ability to continually keep getting this data, information, big data analysis, artificial intelligence, algorithms, and all of that, to be able to upgrade that knowledge of capability you have to be able to succeed in the enterprise? And that is what we talk about when we say intelligent organizations.
I think if you really want to build an intelligent organization, there has to be a culture of, embracing diversity, which you spoke about. But I think it's more importantly about intelligence today is spread across the entity. So how do you build a culture where the learning across the organization kind of happens at great speed? And I guess the objective would be that the sum of the intelligence of every individual in the organization actually adds up and is exponentially larger than the sum really. And I think the other bit, you talked about diversity. I think one of the challenges, and you said the factors really would be about today an organization employs 5 generations of workforce. So how do you get the intelligence across those generations into what you're going to be doing really?
So how do we prepare such an organization for future? As HR leadership professionals, what should we be doing today so that coming 1 year, 2 year down the line, we actually help create such organizations?
One of the things that we pride ourselves, whether we belong to HR or any other function, is to take informed decisions. And when we take informed decisions, we believe that we are using the data which is not only relevant but which is current. And in this recent conversation about big data and analytics, one particular aspect that I personally observe across the group company that I see is somehow or other we lose track of how current and relevant the data is. All of us know that if I get the right data, how to analyze and how to reach a conclusion. But to my mind, one of the biggest problem is to know what is the right data. What is it that I want to pick up?
In the second panel discussion of the HR Innovation Awards, HR leaders came together to discuss the role of innovation and digital transformation strategies that can be adopted in organizations.
The challenge with digitization is everything is real time, everything is instantaneous, and everything lends itself to immediate audit and immediate sense of governance. Right, both formally and informally. And I think therefore HR is going to be a lot about making things real time. It's all about making sure that people have things at their fingertips, and this will change a lot of leadership styles, leadership practices, a lot of our talent strategies, because it's almost going to be out in the open for people to look at and respond to.
HR innovation should stem from the culture of the organization. You should create an inclusive culture where you encourage creativity. Innovation doesn't mean all the time doing breakthroughs. Innovation need not be through only technology. There are many other ways you can do innovation. How you can engage people, motivate them, they can give a better results, which can improve the productivity and the efficiency of the organization. Also, you can engage people through a good innovation. I think it depends on the leadership, and if you do great innovations, even apart from the technology, it can also give great results. Technology could be one enabler for that.
The way the technology and non-technology organization look at innovation. The technology innovations are extremely digital and forward-looking, but the non-technology organization also look at innovation in a very pragmatic way, which also takes into consideration the softer aspect. What probably was concluded very well, that for India, where the generation Y is maximum and workforce is going to be increasing going forward, the talent classification and transformation is extremely critical. So that is going to impact the entire education system and also the culture of the organization.
That innovation doesn't happen just because of technology. I think technology is an enabler to do better and things and faster and maybe cheaper and smarter. I think it also came out that automation should be looked at as an opportunity, given that our demographics are changing so much, and it should be really looked at seeing how new roles will emerge and how we can skill people to do better work.
The final panel discussion focused on building an innovation enterprise and what CEOs want from HR directors.
What is innovative practices in HR, what is imperative for an innovative organization today. So let's take a crack at that.
Innovation is no more a competitive advantage. I think it's a survival instinct for an organization, and we need to really understand as to how do we want to really play it. We can either play it, so either there are only two options for organizations today. it's no more maintenance. Either you disrupt or you get disrupted. There is no third option. Yeah, if you see the world as volatile, and there are these words about VUCA, it is getting very complex. It is getting very ambiguous. You can play it that way and be getting disrupted. Like Kodak, Nokia, some of these companies we have all lived with, they're all disrupted today, and there are companies like Instagram and Ola and Uber and Airbnb, and there are multiple of examples which have just come up and have disrupted the world. So I think HR has to really see this context of innovative organizations today, and then contextualize, are we ready to be part of an organization which actually goes and disrupts rather than get disrupted? And that needs a completely paradigm shift.
How do you see the role of HR evolve? Like, we've spoken about, you know, how everything's changing, how you either can get disrupted or be disruptive. So in that, what is the role of HR, really?
I know, my take on role of HR is, first, I think they must move away from being reactive to, they have to become proactive. I think unless HR moves from being reactive to proactive, I don't see is there any role, and therefore that's one I would think they must do. I think second is, for too long we've talked about the business guys must have HR in them. I think a time has come for us to start talking about, does HR have business in them? Why are they recruiting people on the basis of certain job specification given by different functional heads? If they know the business, they must recruit people who suit that business, right? And I think the fundamental thing that HR should always keep worrying about is every employee of the organization, are they employable at any point of time? Are they relevant? I don't think the job stops the day you recruit and then you say, I've given you the relevant guy. I think it's a continuous process of ensuring that every employee is employable at any point of time, because the businesses are getting disrupted from every direction, every moment. And therefore, if you are not able to have employees who suit every requirement all the time, I think you've just done the job for that moment. So I would think that's my take.
But if you step back and take a look at what is the difference between all those good examples and the ones that aren't, it's all about people. At the end of the day, the human capital is the biggest asset that an organization has. Everything else is equal. If you have the money, you can buy, you can take a loan, you can buy the machinery, you can buy the best of everything. But what really drives an organization is the pulse of its people and the quality of its people. And I truly believe that if there is a war today, it's a war on talent. Okay, and just as we manage our finances, we manage everything else. And to me, I personally spend 40% of my time on HR-related issues, because I believe that is the single factor that really makes or breaks a company, on how you treat them, how you value them. From an HR perspective, and my number one expectation is that they are talent managers. Okay, they manage that asset of the company in terms of identifying the best talent, grooming them, developing them, nurturing them, coaching them, whatever word you want to find. They are the talent managers of the company. That is my number one expectation. HR guy has to get the pulse of the organization. Are the people happy? What's driving them day to day? Are they frustrated? Am I making a change about something? They are the ones who translate the strategy into culture.
Sanjay, you also have something to share on this?
Employee experience is equally important, or more important, I would say, because that signifies how you're going to be dealing with people who are in your arm's reach. We have a hope in hell dealing with customers that well who are not even within our arm's reach, if we can't deal with people and give them the same experience. So given that we made a transition and it had to begin with top down, we said the CEO's role is actually not Chief Executive Officer anymore, it's the Chief Experience Officer. And whose experience is it? It is the employee's experience, it is their enablement and empowerment. And what does an employee want? He wants his life simplified. So looking at that, we have to make a very big transition internally. And that transition is exactly what we do for our customers today. And the rule books can't be two separate rule books to be successful in the world tomorrow. So that's where the role of HR, just like that of a marketing person, has changed dramatically. You are an experienced person for your internal customers, but the CEO, whose agenda it is, it has to be the CEO's agenda. While I'm saying, passing the buck on to the HR, but it is not an outsourced job anymore. It is everybody's job, and the experienced owner, if it is the CEO, then it's as much and spending as much time trying to make their life simple, more meaningful, to get passion and inspiration into the ecosystem of the organization. So transparency is going to be absolute paramount, and how HR adapts to this.
HR Innovation Awards acknowledge HR leaders across different companies for their outstanding contribution and innovation in the industry.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started with the HR Innovation Awards 2016. Started with our first category for the evening, which is the Organizational Awards, Best Contribution to Organization Culture.
Winner for the best contribution to organization culture is NIIT Technologies.
We have with us Mr. Chinmay Patra, the General Manager of NIIT Technology.
Winner for Employee Value Proposition, Accelerating Towards Excellence is PepsiCo India. Winner for Most Effective Talent Acquisition is Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. Winner for Most Innovative Use of HR Technology is Bajaj Alliance General Insurance Company. Winner for the Best Learning and Development Strategy is Piramal Enterprises. Winner for the Best Reward and Recognition Program is NIIT Technologies. Winner for the Best Employee Engagement Strategy is Yes Bank. Winner for the Best Talent Management Strategy is Aditya Birla Financial Services Group. Winner for the Most Innovative Use of HR Social Media is HCL Technologies. Winner for Excellence in Diversity and Inclusion Award is Lemon Tree Hotels. Winner of HR Team of the Year, 500 employees or more, Bajaj Alliance General Insurance Company and Indian Oil Corporation. Winner for HR Rising Star of the Year is Sahana Shankar, Brelio. Winner for Transformational HR Leader of the Year is Pranish Rao, Lawson and Tubro Technologies Services. Winner for HR Leadership Award Year is Ajay Bakshi, Vodafone Shared Services. Subrat Chakravarti, HCL Technologies, and Ajit Kumar Balakrishnan, SLK Software. Winner for Innovative CHRO of the Year is Manoj Biswas, Larsen & Toubro Infotech. Winner for Outstanding Contribution in the field of HR is Sudhanshu Tripathi, Hinduja Group, and Saurabh Govil, Wipro Technologies. Winner for Outstanding Contribution in the field of HR in Public Sector, Anuj Agrawal, Airport Authority of India.
It's an absolute honor and privilege to receive this award on behalf of every Wiproite in HR and the larger Wiproites. Wipro has been at the forefront of innovation over the last few decades, and in our HR function, we continuously strive to innovate on a day-to-day basis and activities, making our employees more successful, making our customers more successful.